Hello friends, welcome to Fairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affair of 6th of Jan 2021. You can see here the two best images of the day and you can see the smiling face of Narendra Modi ji in one picture and a very tense face in the second picture. But today we will discuss 11 to 12 very important and the most important current affairs. So watch video till last, and guys, please like this video and share this video at max. And before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affair, or you can directly go to the description box of this video. Under the description box we put a link, and by clicking on that link you can directly reach the subscription area. So what you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF we are providing you two PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs of particular day. Second is related to question and answer PDF. It means question and answer format of daily current affairs will be provided to you in the form of PDF. Next is weekly PDF. Arrange all the current affairs in weekly wise. So it is very important because all the current affairs arranged according to week wise so that you can revise very easily. Next is weekly test. Very important to evaluate yourself that how much current affair you can retain for long time period. Next is the monthly PDF, and it is the most important PDF because in this PDF we are providing you 5 PDFs. One is related to theoretical current affairs of particular month. Next is question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain for long time period. Next is pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair very quickly. Next is banking, finance and economy PDF. Very important for those aspirants who are preparing for banking exam, especially like RBI, SBI, IBPS and insurance exams also. Next is top 100 current affairs. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer of particular month. That will be the best 100 current affairs of particular month. And guys, these all things comes under only one subscription, and this subscription is provided to you at very minimal cost. And on that minimal cost, we are providing you 10% extra discount. And how you can get this 10% extra discount? If you use this code ASH10, ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount. So let's start today's video with Narendra Modi ji picture. And here is our first section, that is the most important question section. But before proceeding, please like this video and share this video, guys. Let's start. Here is with first question. Which country will launch the world first wood-based space satellite by 2023 to combat the problem of space junk? So the most important keyword under this question is world first wood-based space satellite. It is wood-based space satellite because according to World Economic Forum, there are nearly 6,000 satellites circling Earth, and about 60% of them are space junk. That's why there is a need to clean up this space junk, or we have to try other ways of that. So there is one country who basically will launch this world first wood-based space satellite in 2023, and this country, you can pause this video and match answer with me. Answer is C, Japan. So remember, answer is C, Japan. And you can also see here world first wooden satellite to be launched by Japan in 2023 to reduce space junk. You can also see here Japan, Sumitomo Forestry Company and Kyoto University of Japan is all set to launch the world first wood-based space satellite by 2023. So you have to remember this university name, that is Kyoto University. In this regard, several wooden materials are being tested by the research team to find a stable one for the space emissions. And remember, it is European Space Agency is also planning to launch a mission to collect all the space debris in 2025, because I already told you that there are nearly 6,000 satellites circling Earth, but about 60% of them are the space junk. So there is a need to clean up this space junk, and European Space Agency is planning to collect this space junk by the year of 2025. So you have to remember 2 or 3 things, but most important thing here is wood-based space satellite will be launched by Japan. Now we are moving to next question. Who received a guard of honor at Republic of Korean Army or the Korea Army headquarters at Gyeonggi, South Korea? So recently, which person visited South Korea and this person awarded with guard of honor in the South Korea? So guys, what is the answer? Answer is very simple. So you can pause the video and match answer with me. Answer is B, General Manoj Mukund Narwane. So remember the answer. He is currently the Army Chief, Manoj Mukund Narwane, MM Narwane. You can see here, Chief of Army Staff General MM Narwane receives guard of honor at ROK Army's headquarters. So this was very short visit. This was just 3-day visit. He recently visited Nepal in November 2020, and also he visited Myanmar in October 2020. So very important personality, MM Narwane or MM Narwane. So ROK stands for Republic of Korea. Army headquarters is in Gyeongsang, and who received the Guard of Honor? General Manoj Mukund Narwane. So remember, it is very important question. Next, Dharmendra Pradhan inaugurates India's first of its kind and migrant worker cell in which state? So there is a like migrant worker cell, or you can say there is a cluster which is known as migrant worker cell, and it was inaugurated by one and only Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and you have to tell me that it is inaugurated in which state. So answer is very simple, and this migrant worker cell will provide the labor to the migrant workers. It means this migrant worker cell will provide the livelihood to the workers. So this is very important, guys, and it is the first of kind in India, and this is started in or inaugurated in which state? It is inaugurated in Gujarat. Exact place is in Surat. Remember, exact place is in Surat. You can also see here the picture of Dharmendra Pradhan. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan inaugurates migrant worker cell in Surat, and it is an initiative of Surat Municipal Corporation. Remember this. You can also see here an initiative of Surat Municipal Corporation. It aimed to help migrants from Odia and other parts of the country working in different industries of Surat, so that maximum to maximum labor capacity is enhanced and maximum to maximum migrant workers can get job in Surat. The cell will be based at iLab Udana. Surat has been created under the National Urban Livelihood Mission scheme because they are getting the labor. So that's why this scheme is or this lab is included under National Urban Livelihood Mission scheme. The cell will also be used to extend assistance and government-led benefits to the migrant worker. It means all the benefits of the particular scheme will be provided to the migrant workers. So here state is important, Gujarat. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani. Capital is Gandhinagar. Governor is Acharya Devrat. So you have to remember this. And most important here is the National Park, Gir National Park. Very important because very famous for Asiatic lions. There is a Black Buck National Park, very important for black bucks. You have to remember this. And there is a Vansada National Park. You have to remember also this. Vansada National Park in Gujarat. Now we are moving to next question. FSSAI reduced permissible level of trans fatty acids in oils and fats to what percentage for 2021? Mark under the most important question, because according to World Health Organization, each year around 5.4 lakh deaths take place due to intake of this produced trans fatty acids. Very important, guys. So it is very essential to take care of these trans fatty acids. So Indian organization, that is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, basically reduced the permissible level of trans fatty acids at what percentage for 2021? Basically this organization also set the target for 2022, but I am talking about only 2021. So answer should be very simple. Answer is 3%. So remember, for 2021 we have to limit these trans fatty acids in oils and fats about 3%, and in 2022 by the 2%. So you have to remember this 2022. So there are 3 2's, and so you have to remember this 2%. 2021, 21 means 3, so you have to remember 3%. You can remember by this very simple method. FSSAI has capped the amount of fatty acids into oils and fats about 3% for 2021, 2% for 2022. So FSSAI released these guidelines, and this trans fatty acid is associated with increased risk of heart attacks and deaths from coronary heart disease. So you have to remember it is very responsible for the heart attacks. And WHO has target for global elimination of trans fats by 2023. So guys, this is most important line. You have to remember this, that World Health Organization has also set a target for the global elimination of trans fats by the 2023. India started this type of the initiative that India passed a regulation to set a trans fatty acid limit by 10% in oils and fats, which was reduced to 5% in 2015, and currently also 5% is going on, but now it is reduced to 3% in 2021 and 2% by the 2022. Here organization is very important about Food Safety Standard Authority of India. Chief Executive Officer Arun Singhal, headquarters is in New Delhi, but Chief Executive Officer is not so much important. Remember about only FSSAI. So remember about the headquarters New Delhi. Moving to next question, but all the most important questions are covered. Now we are moving to very important questions. Here is our first question. India bagged off the 40th Indian scientific expedition to Antarctica. It means we are going to South Pole, near to South Pole. From which port? So a vessel with 43 members now going to Antarctica, and you have to tell me that from which port this vessel started. And this vessel started from Marmegaon port of Goa. Remember, from Marmegao port of Goa. So this Haldia port is in Calcutta, or you can say in Kolkata. Mumbai port, you can remember, that is in Maharashtra. Paradip port is in Odisha. So remember, these are the 4 major ports of India, and Marmegao port is in Goa. So you can also see here Indian scientific expedition to Antarctica from 4 Jan 2021 from Marmegao Port Trust, Port Goa. And you can also remember here there are 43 members, and chartered ice vessel MV Vasily Golovnin will take the team to Antarctica. So you have to remember the name of the vessel, that is MV Vasily Golovnin. The Ministry of Earth Science launched this expedition, you have to remember. And who is the Union Minister of Earth Science? That is Harshvardhan. National Center for Polar Ocean Research and Ministry of Earth Sciences jointly implemented this type of the project for Indian Antarctic program. And this 40th IESA will provide to under progress scientific projects of the climate change, because there are polar ice. So this is very important to notice the climate change, geology and ocean observations, electric and magnetic flux measurements, environmental monitoring, resupplying of food, fuel, provisions and spare. There are so many things we can study on that, because Indian 3 labs are there, 3 research centers are there, and that are known as Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri and Bharti. But Dakshin Gangotri is not working now. Maitri and Bharti is currently active. So you can see here Maitri and Bharti is currently active. So you have to remember this. This is very important GK question, that Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri and Bharti is currently the research centers of India in Antarctica. But Dakshin Gangotri is not active now. Maitri and Bharti is active. The first Indian Antarctic expedition began in 1981, and it comprised of 21 scientists led by the Dr. S.Z. Kasim. So 2 or 3 things are important under this question. What is the number of Indian scientific expedition to Antarctica? It is the 40th number. And what is the name of the vessel? You have to remember, it is Vasily Golovnin, and it is going to Antarctica. Total member 43. There is an institute that is known as National Center for Polar Ocean Research. Its headquarters is in Goa, Vasco da Gama, Goa. So remember these 2 or 3 things that are very important. And last thing under this question is important, the 3 research centers of India, Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri and the Bharti. Now we are moving to next question. Who inaugurated National Meteorology Conclave 2021? So the keyword of this question is meteorology. Meteorology is the scientific study of measurement. So you have to remember, National Meteorology Conclave 2021 is inaugurated by our lovely Prime Minister, that is Narendra Modi ji. So answer should be A, and the students who are thinking Narendra Modi is definitely correct. You can see here, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to inaugurate National Meteorology Conclave organized by CSIR National Physical Laboratory via video conference. And you can see the picture of Narendra Modi ji very tensed in this photo. Theme of this meteorology conclave, meteorology for the inclusive growth of the nation. And Prime Minister Modi ji dedicated Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya and National Atomic Timescale to the nation, and also laid the foundation stone of National Environmental Standards Laboratory. This is again very important, because it is the India's first laboratory for self-reliance in the certification of ambient air and industrial emission monitoring equipment. And guys, under this question, this is again very important, National Atomic Timescale. This is very important because India has become the self-reliant in measuring the time within the range of a nanosecond. India achieved the accuracy level of 2.8 nanosecond. This is again very important. This is information for you guys. India achieved the accuracy level of 2.8 nanosecond. It means so much slow time we can measure. That is 2.0 nanosecond. Again, very important. It means we can measure the accurate range less than 3 nanoseconds. This is very important. So you have to remember this, and we are talking about the meteorology conclave, and it is related to the measurements. So guys, remember the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research National Physical Laboratory is situated in New Delhi. Remember this. Now we are moving to next question. Which meteorological observatory has been conferred the status of Centennial Observing Station status by the World Meteorological Organization? So the most important thing here is the World Meteorological Organization. But firstly, we have to answer this question. Which meteorological observatory has been conferred the status of Centennial Observing Station status? It means this station status is working for more than 100 years. That's why this status is given. And guys, remember the answer is very simple. Answer is C, Patna Meteorological Observatory. Remember the answer is C. You can also see here World Meteorological Organization, Patna Meteorological Observatory gets Centennial Observing status. You can also see here it is to recognize its contribution towards long-term meteorological observation exceeding over 100 years. So this is so much huge time period. So the Patna Meteorological Observatory has been established in 1867 by the British Corps of Engineer who belongs to Bihar. This is again very important. Sentinel Weather Station maintain the world longest robust records because they are working for more than 100 years. That's why they have longest robust records of weather observations. They are the key to understanding of the climate system and global warming, because if you are comparing today's atmosphere with the 100 years ago atmosphere, then you can definitely understand the climate system and the global warming. Now, most important thing under this question is World Meteorological Center, and where is the headquarters? That is in Geneva, Switzerland, and total member countries are 193. Who is the Secretary General? Petri Talas, but it is not so much important. You can only remember the headquarters, Geneva, Switzerland. Now we are moving to next question. Central government has issued rupees 5,500 crore in zero coupon bonds to recapitalize which bank? It means to basically to recover this bank, or you can say to recover this debt driven bank. And this central government is issuing 5,500 crore zero coupon bonds to recapitalize which bank? And guys, answer is very simple. You can match answer with me and you can pause video before my answer. Answer is Punjab and Sindh Bank. So remember, this bank is not so much in news, so you can remember Punjab and Sindh Bank. So you can see here Punjab and Sindh Bank, a government of India undertaking, recapitalize, and central government issues 5,500 crore worth of zero coupon bonds, and Punjab and Sindh Bank to park this investment in held to maturity category. So you can also see here Punjab and Sindh government, by allowing it to park this paper in its held to maturity category at face value rather than the discounted market rate. Otherwise, these type of the bonds can be issued or can be issued to public with the discounted market rate, but it cannot be because it is held to maturity category. So zero coupon bonds are the debt securities that does not pay interest but instead trades at a deep discount. It means it is not a fixed, not on a fixed interest rate, but it is on a it is traded according to the deep discount, and it rendering a profit at maturity. So when the time period ends, it will give you a profit when the bond is redeemed for its full face value, and the bond will mature in the tranches between 2030 to 2035. This will be the time period of maturity of the bond. And guys, remember about Punjab and Sindh Bank, who is the managing director and chief executive officer, that is S Krishnan, and tagline is where service is a way of life. So remember this tagline because Punjab and Sindh Bank is not so much in news, so remember always this tagline, where service is a way of life. Now we are moving to next question. Which insurance company partnered with Jammu and Kashmir government for Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana Sehat? This scheme recently launched by Pradhan Mantri or the Prime Minister Modi ji in Jammu and Kashmir, and it is available for all the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. And this scheme will be implemented by which insurance company in Jammu and Kashmir? Answer is, again, you have to basically pause this video before my answer and you can match. Bajaj Allianz General Insurance is the right answer. So C should be right answer, guys. You can see here Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company Limited partners with Jammu and Kashmir government for Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Sehat scheme. Now we are moving to next scheme and next question. And guys, I think all you know about the Pradhan Mantri Sehat Yojana or Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya scheme, because this is very much famous scheme and it is the world largest health insurance scheme. That under this scheme 5 lakh insurance per family per year will be provided for any type of the disease like primary, secondary and the tertiary. So now we are moving to next question, and it is Kochi Mangaluru natural gas pipeline has been constructed by which company? Again, most important question because I am talking about one pipeline and it is from Kochi to Mangaluru. Remember, it is from Kochi to Mangaluru. It means this pipeline will carry natural gas from liquefied natural gas regasification terminal at Kochi, and it will be delivered to Mangaluru, Karnataka. It means it will basically from Kochi to Mangaluru, it means it will cover the 2 states. One is Kerala, second is Karnataka. And the PM cited this inauguration of the pipeline as a step towards government one nation, one gas grid, because this pipeline is inaugurated by our lovely Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And answer of this question is very simple, that is Gas Authority of India Limited. And who is currently chairman and managing director? Manoj Jain. Manoj Jain. You can see here in the picture, Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated Kochi-Mangaluru gas pipeline to the nation, one gas grid. And you can also see here the pipeline is constructed by the GAIL at a cost of 3,000 crores. And the PM cited this inauguration of pipeline as a step towards the one nation, one gas grid. and new pipeline will create around 21 lakh new pipe gas connections, and this will help the Kerala and the Karnataka state. The project was launched in 2009 and was originally expected to completed in 2014, but after 6 years of delay, it was completed in 2020. So this news is very important, and the examiner can also ask the name of the pipeline, that is Kochi-Mangaluru Natural Gas Pipeline. It will also provide continuous supply of environment-friendly piped natural gas to households, commercial units, compressed natural gas for transport sector across Kerala. So remember about GAIL also. GAIL headquarters is in New Delhi and chairman and managing director is Manoj Jain. Now we are moving to next question. Who has been honored with OBE Officer of the Most Excellent Order of British Empire in Queen Elizabeth II 2021 New Year Honours list? And guys, remember, this is just like a one award, and this is the second highest ranking order of the British Empire award, excluding the knighthood and the damehood, conferred in recognition of his outstanding services towards improving healthcare, improving the army, and so many things. And this award is given by the Queen Elizabeth II. It is type of a award, but you can also remember it is a honor given under the New Year Honours list. And this person is Dr. Raghu Ram Pillari. Remember the answer, Dr. Raghu Ram Pillari. You can also see here the second highest ranking order of British Empire conferred to him in recognition of his outstanding services to breast cancer care, surgical education in India and UK-India relation. The award was instituted in 1917 by King George V. In 1917, the King of Britain was King George V, and in 1917, Gandhiji was doing Champaran Satyagraha. You have to remember, it was the first Satyagraha of Gandhiji in India, Champaran Satyagraha in Bihar. Now we are moving to next question. Ramesh Pokhriyal virtually laid the foundation stone for Tehan Foundation, and it is known as Technological Innovation Hub at which institute? I am talking about which IIT. It means under which IIT or on the campus of which IIT Ramesh Pokhriyal laid the foundation stone of the Technology Innovation Hub. And this question answer is C, IIT Hyderabad. Remember, answer is IIT Hyderabad. You can see here, IIT Hyderabad sets up Tehan IIT, and it is a test bed for autonomous navigation system. You can also see here, it will be India's first testing hub for autonomous navigation and data acquisition system by the simulation method. Or you can see here, by the simulation method, they can see anything in the lab, like state-at-the-art simulation technologies, road infrastructure, drone runway, because they will use the terrestrial and the aerial navigation. And they can use the drones runway, landing areas, mechanical integration facilities, smart poles, centralized control room. It means all the things they can see only in the one room, and it is known as the 2 acres land room, which is known as Technological Innovation Hub, also known as the Tehan Foundation. So guys, mark under very important question, and it is Tehan Foundation which will improve our navigation system by this IIT Hyderabad collaboration. So remember, IIT Hyderabad also provided 2 acre land for this Tehan Foundation Technology Innovation Hub. Now we are moving to next question. Which state has rolled out the Launchpad scheme under which new opportunities of employment will be provided to youth? And remember, the name of the scheme or the name of the campaign is Launchpad scheme. And this scheme is launched by which state? This scheme is launched by Madhya Pradesh. So remember the answer, state is very important. Maximum forest area belongs to Madhya Pradesh all over India. Remember this. There is a Panna Biosphere Reserve, there is a Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve, there is a Pench National Park, there is a Kanha Tiger Reserve, there is a Bandhavgarh National Park, very important national park and biosphere reserve in Madhya Pradesh. You can see here, Madhya Pradesh rolls out Launchpad scheme being started for boys and girls coming out of child care institutions. It means it is for the Atmanirbhar Bharat and the self-reliant. You can see here, new opportunities of the employment will be provided for those boys and girls who have come out of institutional supervision of the care institutions of the state. It means the boys and girls who came out of institutional supervision of the care institutions and already completed the 18 years to make them self-reliant. So they will provide some type of the jobs in the district administration, like they will provide some space so that they can open some type of the booths like coffee shop, stationery, photocopy, computer typing work, etc. The scheme has been launched under the Child Protection Scheme because it is related to the child care institutions. That's why this comes under the Child Protection Scheme. And amount of 6 lakh rupees will be provided for installation of each launch pad. So this is again very important. Now, next is Anil Panachuran, very famous poet and lyricist, passed away. He was poet of which language? So you have to remember, he was poet of Malayalam language, and he was very famous poet and lyricist. And he belongs to which state? He belongs to Kerala, and he also won the Filmfare Award for Best Lyricist in 2008. You can also remember this, but the main important thing is language of this lyricist and poet. Language is Malayalam. Anil Panachuran. You can also see here Malayalam poet and lyricist Anil Panachuran passes away. Now we are moving to next section, that is important question section. Here is our first question. The Ministry of Finance has notified that remission of duties and taxes on exported products scheme will be implemented from which date? So guys, again this is very important because it is launched or started by which ministry? This is started by Ministry of Finance, and this scheme will exempt all the goods which are exported. So this is very important news, you can mark, and it is started by the Ministry of Finance, and it will be started from 1st Jan 2021. Already there is one act is going on, that is known as Merchandise Export from India scheme, which will expire on 31st of December 2020. Now this will start. This is known as Road TEP, that is remission of duties and taxes on exported product. You can also see here Road TEP scheme extended to all export goods from 1st Jan 2021. From 1st Jan 2021. It means the exporters who want to avail the benefit of the scheme are required to declare their intent for which export item in the shipping bill or bill of export. So the benefit of the scheme is subject to condition, some restrictions, exclusions, ineligibilities, and fulfillment of the procedural requirement of the notification. So remember this, and this is for all exported goods, but there are some limitations also. So moving to next question, which state launched M-Pension app for pensioners? Guys, it is very important, and it is M-Pension app. So many states launched this type of the app. So we place this question under the important section, and answer is Manipur. Manipur. You can also see here Manipur CM Biren Singh launched M-Pension Manipur app for the pensioners. So you can just simply guess that this app is launched for what purpose? It is for the pensioners' help. So it is very important. And guys, remember Manipur capital is Imphal, and governor of this state is Najma Heptullah. And guys, remember very important national park is there, Kabul Lemjao National Park. Remember Kabul Lemjao National Park, and it is the only floating park in the world. It is only floating park in the world, that is Kabul Lemjao National Park in Manipur. So remember this. Now we are moving to last question, that is the former Mali Prime Minister Modibo Keita dies. So remember only the name, that is Modibo Keita. M for Mali, M for Modibo. So remember this. And the country is important, guys. Mali. Mali's capital is Bamako. Remember? Bamako. Bamako. And currency is Western African CFA. Western African CFA. Franc. Now we are moving to next question, and it is our one-liner important points. First is NBCC and Jammu Kashmir Information and Technology signed MOU to establish IT towers in Jammu and Kashmir in Srinagar. So remember, this is Srinagar, where this information and technology towers will be established by the Jammu Kashmir IT, that is Information and Technology. So remember this. And what about NBCC? It is National Buildings Construction Corporation Limited. So remember this. Not so much important, but you can remember. Former Prime Minister of Mali, we already covered. India sets up high-level group headed by Ram Vinay Shahi for South Asia energy security, so that the cross-border energy trade can be initiated. So a new level of committee is instituted, and this committee headed by the Ram Vinay Shahi. Remember this. Next, General M.M. Nirwane visits Republic of Korea for 3 days. You can remember this. We already covered this. Indigenously designed blastless tracks to be used for high-speed RRTS trains. Any type of the RRTS, but currently which is going on, you can tell me only in the comment box that which regional rapid transit system, that is the country's first regional rapid transit system. What is the name of this transit system? You have to tell me. And it is 82 kilometer long, and it will be completed in 2025. And first time this blastless tracks will be used under this RRTS. Next, Ministry of Railways released the booklet Building an Atmanirbhar Bharat. So remember, this booklet is basically the achievements of the Ministry of Railway for the Sashakt Bharat or Atmanirbhar Bharat or the self-reliant Bharat. So you have to remember this. Now we are going to the 5th of Jan 2021 answer. What was the question? Question was, where was the Rafale fighter jets of India's and France planned to carry out exercise Sky Ross on January 2021? So answer should be Jodhpur. So remember, the answer is Jodhpur in Rajasthan. You can also see here the two answers are very, very you can say attractive, or you can say very much clear. Like answer is Jodhpur, Rajasthan, India and France military exercise. Shakti is their army exercise. Garuda 4 is Air Force exercise. Rajasthan is the largest Indian state by area and 7th state by population. Chief Minister is Ashok Gehlot. Governor is Kalraj Mishra. France capital Paris. Currency Euro. President Emmanuel Macron. So much information about this person, that is Krishna Paswan. Next is Amit Thakur, and he also provided some information about this, but we already covered this. The Solidarity Rafale Squadron will be the furthest entered with the arrival of 3 more fighter jets in January. It means 3 more Rafales are coming. This would be the third set of deliveries of the French aircraft, because first we received 5, then we received 3, now we are again receiving 3. So now we are moving to question of the day, and the question of the day is, which country will join the Five Eyes? This is very important word, guys. This question will definitely come. Five Eyes to respond against the threats faced by the Uyghurs as of January 2021. So it means which country will join these Five Eyes and become the Sixth Eye. So you have to tell me only in the comment box, and I will choose the best answers. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel and please provide us 700 plus like. This is the only thing I am demanding, that please subscribe and please like this channel. And please press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is a Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Definitely, if you are reading our current affairs from PDFs and if you are watching the videos daily, it means your current affairs section will definitely go strong. And guys, 90% questions which are coming in your exams in the general awareness section are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is a very huge thing which is covered by Affairs Cloud. And guys, you can trust on Affairs Cloud, because you can also see the proofs of the last 3-year questions which are coming in exam, and we covered 90% of the question. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't take life so much serious. Always be happy, because happiness is the key of success. You have to remember this. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.